things, especially in this country, because we always think terrorism comes from overseas, but we never talk about the stuff that happens here in the United States. And it really puzzles me that we don't talk about things that happen, but we always try to leave it alone. But we never get away from 9/11. We never get away from the Oklahoma City tragedy. Um, the thing that happened in Orlando, the kids, in Texas, and also colleges and other high schools. And we never stop out talk about Columbine. But the thing that really puzzled me, that the biggest massacre in U.S. history, I believe, was the one in Las Vegas when they had that concert when the old guy broke in the window. Well, when I seen his photo, he looked a lot younger to me than them saying he was an old guy. Uh, he broke a window and he started shooting at all these people at a concert. And it puzzled me that 800 people were injured and 60 people passed away. But they don't talk about that being terrorism. No, they won't. And it kills me because, like I said, a lot of people don't watch videos like this. YouTube is very, very sensitive about what you post and how you say it. So I'm not trying to say anything that's going to be using the D word, the K word, or anything like that. But it puzzles me that all these people were sitting outside enjoying themselves at a concert, and this man starts shooting from not that far away, hurting and injuring and deceasing people. And nobody talks about it. We talk about all this other stuff that's going on in America. But that was one of the biggest tragedies in U.S. history. History. Now, people talk about, well, a lot of people were deceased in 9/11. Yes, there were. But this was another one. But the person was a regular white guy. Sorry to say that. He was older. He took a whole bunch of luggage of ammunition to the floor that he had his room at. Nobody didn't check his luggage to know that he had like arsenal in his luggage. He took it to his hotel room, locked the door. He had a do not disturb sign on the door. He broke in the window and he started shooting all these people that were standing across the street at a concert. They thought it was firecrackers because the music was so loud. I forgot who was singing on the stage. The bull got his stuff and ran. And people were like, what's going on? And then they found out that he was shooting. This man was shooting like thousands of rounds. There probably could be less than that, because I know that when I first saw the video years ago, it really blew my mind that they don't talk about this. Like they talk about 9/11, they talk about Oklahoma City, they talk about all these other things, but they never bring this up. And this is one of the worst tragedies of all time. Like people climbing over gates, jumping gates, running all over the place. This is a concert with thousands of people. Thousands of people. Just like how they said 9/11 had 2,000 people inside both buildings. And when it collapsed, it actually took lives in them two buildings, right? Because of a plane, right? Two planes. But this man shot thousands of rounds. Just like them kids that were sitting up there in that school with that young man in the school, and the cops just sat there and watched and just waited until this kid did all this stuff in the school to go in there and get him. And he still was doing his thing in the school. I can't say what he was doing, but he was doing these things to them kids in school. And they waited, and they waited, and they waited. Now, this happens too. The cops didn't come until later on because the guy that was a security guard heard the gunshots. So he started banging on the door, but he couldn't get the door open. He called the cops, right? The cops took so long to get there. And when they got there, they saw all these people on the ground. And it was already over because when they kicked the door in, they got the dude. They said the bull was like behind the door or something like that, and they got him up. But the thing that really drives me crazy is that they don't call it terrorism in the United States. How is it that Orlando shooting and all these things that went on across America that's still going on today, we don't call Americans terrorists? But we'll go over there and talk about everybody else overseas and say that how bad they are and how they'll be doing all these things to us. But we're doing things to our own selves. going into school. You got these kids that are mental, depressed, stressed, going to these schools because they've been bullied and go and do what they do in these schools. But they don't call them kids terrorists because they are. They're using arsenals against their own people. That's terrorism. Like I said, the Orlando shooting, when that guy walked in there in that bar with all them people in there and started just bucking up everybody, they had to go and kill him in the bathroom. Sorry, I used the word cat, I didn't mean to say it, but they up there got that boy in the bathroom. I mean, after he killed a whole bunch of people. Then you got the people that were actually doing things on TV, like the bull. They said that he was a former military guy, and he did these things, but they don't talk about the dude that actually had the car, the Tesla John, in front of the damn of Trump's office that blew the hell up. But they call the bull a T, but they didn't call the other guy a T. Because you know why they don't call him? Because America always think it doesn't happen here. We kill our own people. We just do it because we just want to do it. But if somebody else do it from another country, oh, look how bad these people are. They want to hurt us. We kill our own people. Did you know that immigrants don't have a lower chances of hurting Americans than Americans hurting themselves? Because you got black on black crime, white on white crime. You know what I mean? You got massacres. You got all these things that's going on in America that's so hidden. It's crazy when you start talking about it. People don't want to listen. People are like, oh, we don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about somebody else from another country come over here and let's immigrate. They'll come over here and hurt us. But they're not even worried about doing anything to us. But we're worried about doing things to ourselves because we are the only ones that hurt ourselves. We're the only ones that sit here, have a prison population. We have the most prison population than any other country in the world. That's the reason why Trump want to send everybody to other countries, because our prisons are so overpopulated. By who? Americans. Americans are the ones that actually do the things that we do because we don't care. And honestly, we do it because we think we can get away with it because we can blame everybody the fuck else. That's all we do. We blame everybody else for the things that we do. Like that guy did that drone over there in that hotel. They don't talk about it because you know why? Because people will say, why is it not a terroristic act? That a white man, sorry to say, but a white man or even a black man or even culture, any culture that's America, is born in America, is not called that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like you got these guys walking in fucking supermarkets doing that, walking in malls doing that, and they do it all the time. And it's on TV, it's on CNN, it's on Fox News, it's on the public news, and you see it all the time. But they don't say nothing about it. Like the president, like who said that? Obama. Obama said, oh, we don't want to say it's a terrorist act that ever happens here in America. No, we don't want to do that. Trump did the same thing. Oh, it's never happened here. We don't do terrorism here. Are you serious? McVeigh was born here, right? And what did he do? He didn't care. He drove his car across the country to go to Oklahoma because he was a racist. You know what I mean? He was a racist that wanted to hurt people. And guess what he did? He did the thing that he was supposed to do. He hurt people. And he had another accomplice that was his best friend that he threatened and told him, listen, you're going to come and help me. If you don't help me, I'll freaking take you out and your whole family. Then he go over there and just park the truck and leave. Truck explodes, boom, kills a whole bunch of kids. And what happened? This man gets arrested and they treat him like he was a god. Yeah, he had a bulletproof vest on, but that man was still laughing and joking with the cops when he was being locked up and he was taken away. Like the young boy that shot up that school. That boy was taken in a car and he was up there laughing and joking with the cops. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is the way we treat our people that do things to our own American people. You know what I mean? But we won't do that to somebody else that's from overseas. We'll treat them like trash. This is what we do, but we always laugh and joke. Oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, and it's crazy because national TV really blows up things and make it seem like America is just this great country that doesn't do anything wrong. But when it's really actually shown, people are like, well, it's not our fault. We can't blame us. We gotta blame everybody else because we don't like to blame ourselves. Our presidents and our governments don't like to blame us for the things that we do. They like to blame everybody else that comes over here that try to make a living or trying to make some money. But they're the ones that are being taken away and try to be taken back to their country because they're trying to make a living. Because we don't want to call ourselves the things that we do wrong. When we go out there and do terroristic acts to our own people. And it's proven, because nobody can't say it's not true. It's proven. Y'all see it on CNN, y'all see it on Fox News, y'all see it on all these newscasts. They show you what Americans do to their own people. I mean, we've been doing this ever since war. And now we're still doing it because we think that, oh, they can't blame us. Wait till somebody else come over from over there and come over here and they're going to do some crap and we're going to call them terrorists. We're not going to call ourselves that, because why would we? We just kill our own people. There's no name for us if we do that. The president ain't going to call us that. The police ain't going to call us that. The FBI, the CIA ain't going to call us that. I mean, unless we doing some spy shit, we doing some espionage shit, that's when they really will call you a T. But when it comes to hurting your own people, going into these restaurants, going into these supermarkets, going into these freaking schools, going into these freaking hospitals, or doing that thing that they did at that hotel to the people at that concert that they don't talk about at all, but they'll talk about 9/11 a trillion times, knowing that it's other acts that happen throughout America that they don't even want to talk about, because they just try to get away from that, because they know Americans are the only ones that do their own shit. But they'll talk about other countries doing crap in their country, trying to protect their country from America from being in there. But when America does stuff in their own country, we look at it like, oh, we can't. Oh, it's not our fault that we do these things. Oh, we're on drugs, or we're alcoholics, or we're depressed, or we hate each other, or we despise each other, we're jealous of each other. So that's the reason why we do these things. Or the kids today are growing up, they're playing these video games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. So they're taking these games and they're going out there and performing because they want to see what it's like. I'm gonna tell you this one story. I watched something on YouTube. It was this kid. He had to be like 16 years old. This kid went out. He had his own house. He had a car. Everything. Smart kid. Very, very intelligent fat kid. He was a fat kid, probably was bullied, but they said he wasn't bullied. He had a lot of friends. This young boy went out, found this guy that his family knew was a homeless guy, but he wasn't really homeless. He had a house and everything. He just liked being out in the street. He didn't like being in the crib. So this guy knew the young boy. So the young boy was like, you know what? I'm gonna take his life. You know what he did? Took this off, took his body parts, took his head, put it in the house. Took his head and put it in the house, put it in the refrigerator. And his mom found it. And the thing is, the young boy got caught. This is the funny thing about it. This is the funny thing. This is the reason why I say they treat black people different than white people. This is the truth. It's not a lie. No racist shit. This is just facts. This young boy had a cop come up to him and said, listen, we found that you have, well, what happened today? What about that old head that you knew? What happened to him? Oh, I did some things to him. What you do? I have his head in my damn refrigerator. You know what the cops did? The cops took the young boy, didn't put no handcuffs on him, didn't say he was arrested, put him in a car, turned the air conditioner on for him while he sat in the car so he could talk to his mom. His mom going crazy. His mom's crying. Father's trying to figure out what's going on because he's the one that found the body. The mom found the body, but he's seen that body. He saw the head too. He's sitting up there talking to the police, trying to figure out what's going on. The young boy was in the car, not arrested, had no handcuffs on, but the woman the police officer that's a female turned the air conditioner on for him so he could stay cool. So when they went back to the car to open the door, they let him out. He was still standing there with no handcuffs. Then they arrested him, but they put no handcuffs on him. They put him back in the car, drove him back to the station, took him out the car, and they walked him without no handcuffs. And then they put him in a jail cell. Who does that? This man, they say he's a young boy. He probably wasn't going to cause no problems. But if that was another person that did the same exact thing that young boy did, by chopping that body up, putting it under the cop drove the young boy to the police station. He even said, listen, that's where the body is over there. So the cop pulled the car over, called the backup. They went around and found all these parts of the body of the man that he killed, right? Think about this. These cops were laughing at the body parts. So there go a leg, there go an arm, there go a thigh. They were laughing. They were right next to the railroad. Now, they don't know if he got thrown on the railroad tracks, train hit him, but they believe that the young boy did more than just that. The boy got life in prison, right? But he had a mental problem. right? See, this is what I don't understand. You treat people differently just because, I'm not saying because of color, you just treat people differently. But this young man, and I'm not just going to talk about this young man. There's another guy, another young man that did the same thing to his parents at his mansion, his mom that mansion, because his mom and dad was about to retire, right? Mom and dad was about to retire, and once the mom and dad was going to retire, they were going to cut off the son from money. So the son, I don't know if the son knew about it yet or somebody told him secretly, because they went on a Thanksgiving dinner, and they had Thanksgiving dinner, and the parents were supposed to tell the son, well, we're going to cut you off, we're retiring, we're moving to Florida, we're going to retire, you got to get a job. So the young boy was like, no, F that. You know what he did? That boy went into that crib, mom and dad was upstairs, dad was upstairs exercising. Young boy came in there, did one of these things to his dad, cut his hands off, put it in the hallway. Then he went to his mom. Did the same thing to his mom when his mom came in the kitchen, got his mom. Did the same thing to his mom, right? So this young boy leaves the house, so he locks the door and everything, but the parents, I think one of the neighbors called, they wanted to do a welfare check on the family. So the cops came in. Next thing you know, they went upstairs, they saw all this stuff, they saw the hands in the hallway and all this crap, right? So the young boy came back to the house, and he stood there while the cops were out there, but he turned around and left. They did the same thing to this young boy that they did to the other young boy that murked his family. They never put no handcuffs on him. They put him in a car, talked to him like he didn't do anything. The young boy was probably scared and everything because he ran, but they caught him. But they didn't do that. They put no handcuffs on him. Took him back to the station. He was charged with multiple murders. He was supposed to get the death penalty, but he got life in prison. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what Americans do. Massacres. We do things to ourselves, but we don't call ourselves what we call everybody else around the world, that thinking they're against us and shit. But Americans are more dangerous to themselves than any other country in the world. We look at the reflection of our mirror. Who the fuck do we see as the enemy in the mirror? It's us. That's why I'm always saying, like, America is coming to a point of being like these other countries. But they don't. But the presidents don't. The presidents, the government, and all these people don't want to say it. And we should be labeled that if we're going in there doing things to other people, taking people's lives, like 10, 12, 13, 14, 20, or 100, or even 1,000 people. We should be called the same thing as the other people over there overseas and what we call them. It's really unfair that they don't show that massacre of Las Vegas, because it will also show that you got these kids running around here with some automatics and all these different type of weapons, and this man had an arsenal. He had like 12 bags of weapons in it, 12, and he had like 1,000. At least about he couldn't. He said the thing was so heavy that the man needed a cart to pull the freaking weapons that he had in a bag, in bags, in boxes, to take it upstairs, because he didn't even ask for help. The boy was trying to go over there, help. One of the bellboys was trying to help him. He said, "No, I got this," and he took the joint up himself. Unpacked that shit in his room, locked the door, put no disturb sign on that joint, broke a window. He counted down to when he was going to start shooting, because he saw the concert had this performance, the last performer. This boy took his joint and started bucking, and he didn't care. And the thing is, like I said, they kicked the door in, they got him, but the damage was already done. He had 800 people injured, 800, from a mass shooting that everybody talk about, Columbine and all these other mass shootings. That mass shooting was probably the worst mass shooting, probably of all time, of how many people that he hurt. He injured over 1,000 people. He shot over 1,000 rounds. 60 people were deceased, and 800 and something other people were injured. So that's nearly over 1,000 people that this man got. This one man shooting out of a hotel window. But they don't talk about that crap. And that's what drives me crazy about America. We want to skip shit and think things we can just get over it. But we always talk about the other stuff that we think is the biggest. We got to talk about 9/11 a trillion times. We have to. But we got to make sure they know that them people over there are dangerous. But we're not dangerous to ourselves? Are you serious? The biggest dangerous people of ourselves You know what I mean? This country is going to go to war with our own citizens going against whoever we're going to go against. You see what's going on right now with the government and the citizens going back and forth. The president and the citizens going back and forth. We're just like all other countries across the world. But see, one about them countries over there, they fight for their rights and their freedom. They'll go out there and protest. They'll go out there and take their presidents and snatch them out their White Houses or whatever and throw them in the street. We don't do that. We are distant. But you know what we'll do? We'll hurt each other. We'll kill each other. We'll despise each other. We're jealous of each other. We can't live with each other. You know what I mean? We're losing our homes. We're losing our businesses because we don't have no money. We don't have no insurance. You know, rent going up. Taxes are going up. Property taxes are going up. Everything is going up. So we are going to get more dangerous as we can't eat. You know, because food run out, we're going to have to learn how to find and eat. We're going to eat. We got to rob. We got to steal to find food. Because we're going to go back to the dark ages, which we're almost there. Plus, we might go back to probably what we went through the Great Depression of 1929. We close to that. And the only way we can survive is we have to survive by going against each other. We got to take what we can take. That's how it is. It's called survival. But this shit right here, all these videos I be seeing and watching, it's so sad that America is going through this. And we've been going through this for like at least about 30 years. And this is not going to stop. It's just the beginning of what's really going to happen in the future if America don't change. And we should be called the same thing as other people across the world. If we don't be called the same thing, I mean, it's going to be horrible in the future when we're going to start doing more and more and more mass crap that's actually that the police is never going to know that they're going to do, or government going to know because it's all secretive, or they probably going to find out, or they're going to just not care. Because basically they really don't care what we're doing because they're making money off of the dead anyway. So it's time for us to change. If this you do want to take this video down, I don't care. If you don't want to subscribe to my channel, I don't care. If you don't want to like, comment, I don't care. I don't like people saying hateful things. I just want people to be real. I want people to come out and say what the hell they feel. Be talking about what I'm talking about, not about me, whatever behind me, whatever around me. Just talk about what you feel and what you think about what's going on out there in the world. I like people's comments. Because things are going on in the world, not just the world, in our country, that's making us look like we are just like these countries that we think that are actually terrorism countries that our military has to go to and sit and build embassies and send our military to these countries for no freaking apparent reason. But our country is the one that's actually doing the things that these other countries doing. So our military is going over there, but our country's not dealing with us. That's the reason why we're doing all the things that we're doing, because we don't have our military here, and our police don't really care. I mean, because they're sitting around, damn, we got to go and do this. Oh, my God, we don't want to go and do this. Oh, my God, I'm drinking my coffee. I don't want to go out there and arrest nobody or throw somebody to the ground, because they don't care anymore, because they know that these people are doing what they're doing because they want to. And this is American people. This is not no people that you see this from overseas. It's us doing this. Until we change as Americans, and as we change, we can stop pulling out these joints, start bucking everybody, because we're mental, physically, and emotionally fucked up because everything is going on around. I'm glad people are not really actually still doing a lot of this stuff, because all this stuff that we're going through in America today in 2025. We still got a long way to go, be in 4 years, man. So it's just not going to be the first time this happened. So it's not going to be the last time. God bless.